Water has been a source of concern for centuries in Jordan and across the Middle East.
The ancient people, they was very clever how they collect the water, you know. I have like 38 reservoirs, a huge amount of capacity of water we could collect, you know, only in a few rain showers in this area. And also the slope of the area where EL-JIMAL, the ancient city, is located, is helping us to collect and to harvest water to these ancient reservoirs.
The ruins date back as far as the Roman times. Various empires went on to conquer this region at the border with Syria. Archaeologist MUAFFAQ HAZZA was born here. He renovates the ancient irrigation system thanks to international funds. These arches are 1,400 years old and part of a once covered cistern.
As you see behind me here, the ancient channel under the ground. This is one of the Byzantine channel here. Of all, this is against the rules and of the standards of the UNESCO to cover it. We find it like this and we will keep it like this, just we can clean it and make some maintenance for it. We are giving the water to the municipality to irrigate the trees, to make the village more green.
Rainwater is preciously stored. Local children learn to swim in the reservoir before the water is pumped out. It's a scarce resource in this desert area, and the war in neighbouring Syria has worsened the situation. Next to El-JIMAL is Zaatari, the largest Syrian refugee camp in the world. 500,000 people have lived here at some point since 2011. The influx has changed the face of the area.
We used to have water daily in the pipes, you know, from the government. Since they came and since we have a shortage of water, we have like 1 day a week, 12 hours a day, you know, in the village. Now we have less water and we're facing really a problem to provide water in the summer to the local communities.
Jordan is exploring ways to solve the water crisis, but is also dependent on its neighbours. Southwest of the capital lies a defining feature of the Middle East, the Dead Sea. A unique natural wonder in peril. Some experts say it could disappear by 2050. AOUNI KOUWAR owns a hotel on the shores of this biblical landmark.
The water recess, 2010, 2005, here you can see. It's incredible. It's about an average of 1 meter per year, multiplied by the surface area of the sea, which is 70 square kilometers. So it has all turned into dry land, unfortunately, and if this continues, then we are in a problem, really. Ecological problem will happen, for sure.
This landlocked body of water is suffering from climate change and from the lack of streams feeding it.
Israel and also Syria is diverting the river on the north, the Jordan River from the north area.
The Dead Sea is one of the saltiest on the planet. It provides an abundance of resources, which is both a blessing and a curse. KOUWAR blames Israel for overexploiting it.
They withdraw the water because the water has potash in it, and they dry it in the sun. Mountains of white mountains of potash for export.
And Jordan does it also, no?
Yes, but not to that, not around the clock. Much more Israel withdraws. Eventually, it will be a dry sea. So the only solution is to go on with the project of the Red Sea connecting the Dead Sea, which has been in plan for so many years and has not seen the light yet, waiting for donor countries and interested participants in this project.
Sometimes called the Two Seas Canal, the project would cost billions of dollars. Seawater would be pumped from Jordan's Gulf of AQUNI and treated in a desalination plant. The project could save the Dead Sea and provide clean water to Israel, Jordan, and the Palestinian territories. Israel is a pioneer in desalination, with its first plant opened in 1997 in Eilat, the Red Sea coastal town opposite ACABA. Jordan launched its own 20 years later.
This is the first stage desalination, sand filter. This is purify water up to 50 micron. Then water is going by feed pumps.
An elaborate process where seawater is treated with chemicals before being turned into drinkable water. 15 people work in this plant, providing only for nearby hotels and the south of AQUNI. A modest contribution given Jordan's huge needs.
We must go for new technologies like desalination to cover the requirements of the country. We need, let's say, medium plants or one plant in huge capacity. You are taking from direct intake from the seawater. I think there is also in Israel, Ashkelon or other desalination plants. When you take from open sea, there is no problem with resources here.
In a region torn by war and tensions, strong cooperation will be necessary to help solve the water crisis. Jordan is for now relying on its underground aquifers, and authorities admit these groundwater resources are overused. Only new ambitious projects will ensure sufficient water for future generations.